You've probably seen the memes, the videos of this one animal that just seems to run on pure, unfiltered audacity. Well, meet the legend itself, the honey badger. It's famous for being one of the toughest, most fearless creatures on the entire planet.
But that's the big question, isn't it? Is that famous honey badger don't care attitude just, well, an attitude? Or is it actually the result of millions of years of absolutely brilliant evolutionary engineering? We're going to dig in and find out. So here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll look at its incredible physical defenses. Then, we'll dive into its shocking resistance to venom. After that, its surprising intelligence. And finally, we'll see how its deep evolutionary history ties this whole incredible package together.
All right, so problem number one, if you're a small animal roaming around Africa, is pretty simple. How do you not get eaten by something way, way bigger than you? Well, the honey badger solution was to become a living, breathing fortress.
Let's kick things off with its most famous adaptation of all. The honey badger's skin isn't just thick and rubbery. The real magic is that it's incredibly loose. Seriously, it's less like skin and more like wearing a custom-made suit of armor that's, a few sizes too big.
So how does this actually play out in a fight? Okay, picture this. A lion clamps down on the badger's back. For most animals, that's game over. But for the honey badger, no problem. Because its skin is so loose, it can literally turn a full 180 degrees inside its own hide and face its attacker, ready to fight back with some seriously nasty claws and teeth. All of a sudden, that lion is left with a mouthful of skin and a face full of very, very angry badger.
And the rest of its body is just as perfectly built for a scrap. Its skull powers jaws that are strong enough to crack a turtle shell. Its ears, they're tiny and tucked in. A brilliant little evolutionary tweak to keep them from being torn off in a brawl. And those claws aren't just for show. They're powerful digging tools, making it one of the most efficient excavators in the entire animal kingdom.
Okay, so we've established the badger can handle physical threats, but what about something more chemical? This brings us to its next mind-blowing specialty, its ability to take on the world's deadliest snakes.
And I am not exaggerating here. Honey badgers actively hunt and eat snakes that have venom capable of killing a full-grown human in just minutes. They don't just stumble upon them and survive. They seek them out. They're on the menu. So how on earth is that even possible?
Well, the main weapon these snakes use is a nasty little molecule called an alpha neurotoxin. Now, the easiest way to think about this is to imagine the venom is a key. For most animals, that key fits perfectly into a lock on their nerve cells. Once it's in, it shuts everything down, causing paralysis and, well, death. This is the very specific biological lock that the honey badger had to figure out how to pick.
And boy did it ever. It developed a multi-layered defense system. First, and this is the most incredible part, it has a molecular shield. Through evolution, the lock on the honey badger's nerve cells has actually changed shape. The venom key just doesn't fit anymore. The toxin molecule is literally bounced away. On top of that, its thick skin acts as a great physical barrier, slowing down any venom that might get through. And to top it all off, mothers actually teach their cubs how to hunt snakes, which lets them build up immunity over time through small, controlled doses. It is an absolutely complete and brilliant solution.
Okay, so being tough is great, being venom-proof is amazing, but you still gotta find food, right? This takes us to the third major problem the honey badger solved, just how to survive in some of the most difficult environments on Earth.
You see, most of its relatives in the weasel family are specialists. They're picky eaters, strictly carnivores. But the honey badger? It completely broke that rule. It is an opportunistic omnivore. It'll eat insects, reptiles, birds, mammals, fruit, roots, you name it. If it can find it, it'll eat it. This incredible flexibility is a massive survival advantage, letting it thrive just about everywhere, from scorching deserts to dense rainforests.
And it really needs that flexibility, because these guys lead a solitary, wide-ranging life. A single male honey badger might have a home range of over 500 square kilometers. Just think about that. You have to be incredibly resourceful to find enough to eat across a territory that massive.
And this resourcefulness isn't just about what it eats, but how it gets it. This is where things get really wild. Honey badgers are shockingly intelligent problem solvers. They are one of the very few animals outside of primates that have been documented using tools in the wild. We're talking using rocks to crack eggs, or even using sticks and mud to build ramps to escape from enclosures. This isn't just toughness, it's toughness backed up by some serious smarts.
So let's recap. We have a living fortress that's immune to deadly venom and is a clever tool user. But a creature this perfect didn't just appear overnight. No,
This is a story of incredible specialization, written over millions and millions of years of evolution.
Let's just put this into perspective for a second. The family tree that the honey badger belongs to started branching out over 16 million years ago. Its own direct lineage is at least 7 million years old. But here's what's truly amazing. Fossil records show there used to be other honey badger-like species out there, but today, it's the sole survivor of its entire subfamily. It basically won the evolutionary marathon, probably because it was the only one that combined all that brute force with such an unmatched level of adaptability.
And that brings us right back to where we started. That legendary fearlessness? It's not an attitude problem. It's the completely logical behavioral outcome of having an evolutionary toolkit that makes you perfectly equipped to handle almost any threat the world can throw at you. I mean, when you can turn around at a lion's mouth and have cobras for lunch, fear starts to seem like a pretty useless emotion.
So we're left with this one big thought. Evolution is really just a process of solving problems. The honey badger faced some of the toughest challenges imaginable: predators, poison, starvation, and its ancient lineage solved every single one. It is living, breathing proof that the harshest challenges don't just create survivors. Sometimes they engineer absolute masterpieces.